Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to In the Pocket with Suzii. This is a tiny little space on the internet where you can come in for a little bit of support. This is also a space where we dig a little bit deeper in who we are so that we can be in a better place out in the world. So if you are interested in the area of self-growth, improving this ability to self-care, willingness to go deep within who you are and discover, embrace all parts of you, then this is your space. Please hit the subscribe button and join me on this journey where we could really travel inward and find this bountiful of beauty within us. So today I want to share a little bit of a nugget that I discovered in the art studio yesterday. And just to paint you a little bit of a picture, I am starting a piece and it's a blank canvas. And each time, naturally, as I am starting with something new, it's daunting. It's this big blank white canvas staring back at me, and my method is tapping into the intuition and allowing my inner being to show through, to be open, so that I'm a pure conduit of whatever it is to come through. All of that is beautiful, and it is the practice of my art, and it is the approach of my coaching and how I show up in this space with no script and just trusting the process of, as long as I am willing to hit record and I start talking, that is enough of my humanness in doing, and then allowing the rest of unconscious inspiration and creativity to come through. So on canvas is essentially the same. Having said all of that, it doesn't mean that it's easy for anything to come through. I'm still staring at a blank canvas. I still have all the doubts that's on the front row looking at me, and there's still this natural uncertainty and doubt about that first marking. So as I am being with the canvas, I took out my journal and I started to write a little bit, just kind of documenting or witnessing what was going on inward. And as I am writing, with the word that came through me, it says, start with a little movement and then allow the moment to take the lead. Okay, I'm going to read that again. Start with a little movement and then allow the moment to take the lead. I was able to lean in from that and thinking more about it. Little movement. What does little movement look like on canvas? And it's just about marking. How do you make a mark? It's a dot, it's a line, it's a swishing, it's a swirl, it's a scribble. It's whatever that little movement is. And we could all make little movements. And once that little movement happens, once we allow ourselves to initiate that little movement, then there's a moment we could attach to. And then allow the moment to take the lead. What that means, you're fully present. I was fully present in front of my canvas with my marking. After the first initial movement, now I'm hearing, allowing this moment to lead. Where does it want to go? That has always been the practice, but it was never sort of, it has never been condensed down to a statement where I can bring myself back to more intentionally, more consciously. And I'm sharing this with you because in living life, in conversations, in the work that you are doing, in the challenges that you have within you, sometimes we can feel so stuck. Like it's so hard to move anywhere. It's so hard to feel like any movement is a right movement. It's so easy for us to feel and get so trapped to think that anything we do is wrong. Any move we do is hurtful. And we just then feel so stuck and frozen, and we're just so afraid to move anywhere. And that, of course, happens in the mind first. When that becomes bigger and more solid in the mind, that is your paralysis that happens. That is the overthinking. That is where the doubt peers in and fills up and wells up in your entire system. So what we need to do to help ourselves is connect the mind to the body. And how we do that is through movement. And in a mini case, in the way that I think, in how my brain works, that is in the little movement of my hand, bringing something in my mind onto paper. So allowing yourself to connect from the head to the body with the little movement. And now you have generated, essentially, a little bit of like kindling, momentum. Now there's like a dance with life that's happening. If you're feeling stuck, move and see what else connects, what else feels good. And you could do this, with dance, with yoga, where essentially you're allowing one breath, one movement, and intuitively you move as you are breathing. But bringing back to the practice, and the reason why I love and I always come back to, and what I feel is actually very accessible to all of us, is when we are able to practice with art, we essentially, using the canvas of a piece of paper, condensing the bigness of life onto a little paper. So if we could allow ourselves to move on the paper, that gets to be the mini practice of how we move in real life, how we can use and channel into this energy and unstuck ourselves when we feel so frozen. Does that make sense? Play with me here, because this is all intuitive, right? So just take out a piece of paper, okay? I want you to play with me. And so I just have a piece of paper over here, where at the other side I have that quote written down. So with a piece of paper, if you're creative, amazing, then this maybe today in this moment is easier for you, or not. If you are not, sort of, the art isn't in your practice, try anyway. We're just playing. Take a pen. This is the pen that I have. Start just lean into the quote. Start with a little movement. Making it easier. Let's try something else, because this is clearly not working. I'm finding a marker for you, okay? Give me a second. Not very well thought out here. All right, I'm getting a marker, something dark so you can see. So a marker. And we're gonna try again. Start with a little movement. Now we're just allowing the movement to go. So whatever this is, we're not judging for what it is, but we just made a marking. And with this, now we could bring in our consciousness, our play, our, playful eye to see what it can be. And, if we're playing over here, right? I mean, we could go into a whole thing over here, but taking this into the context of life, where we started with something, big and blank, and we don't know what to do. When we start moving, then we're allowing life to be. So we're not resisting life. And now we're moving. Now you're being with the moment. Now your presence in the moment that you are in. You are present in the moment that you are in. There's no judgment, and you're just allowing things to be. And that in life is a wonderful way to be, that allows the openness for you to flow and look into the moment, okay? And from here, now that you have made this marking, then you can really look at and pivot and move around. Do I like this? Can I bring another color in? Do I want to shade this more, move away from this? Then you could be, then you could bring in more intentionality into it. So as you start doing whatever it is that you're doing after the initial movement, then you can look at it and say, how do I feel about this? What do I like about this? Can I accept what's going on here? So really today it's intention to bring to your awareness, and when you feel stuck, one, you're never alone, and two, allowing yourself to make a little bit of a movement and trusting the moment will take you on where you need to be. I hope that lands for you. If you want to do a little bit of, therapeutic art with me, comment below, and we could really go deep. I could dedicate some videos and actually doing that with you, if that serves you. Otherwise, my name is again Suzii, Suzii, 2 eyes, because I believe the I in me sees the I in you. See you later.